Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Big Idea Emmanuel Church London and any other people that are joining us today. Hopefully you've had a chance to engage with our Sunday meeting already, where the wonderful, famous Stu Gibbs spoke to us on joyful generosity, which was awesome. Let me just say, if you haven't watched that already, please do go back. You can find it on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you sign up to that, get notifications on. It is a sermon well worth listening to, and it'll do you good to do that. And so what we want to do is grab hold of Stu's preach from the weekend, and we want to just get hold of that message, allow it to get right into our hearts, be deliberate and intentional with the message as we move forward, not just this week, but into the rest of our lives, as we learn how we become joyful in our generosity. And there were three things that Stu said just to help us from a very practical point of view. The first was to plan ahead. And so this week, one of the things that I was thinking about as he was saying it was planning requires planning. So if you're going to be someone that plans ahead when it comes to your finances, you're going to need to take a little bit of time and make sure, maybe it's this week, that you sit down with no distractions and work out how you're going to plan ahead with your finances. That might be a really intimidating and scary thing to do, but what I would encourage you to do is first of all to take the time on your own, and then it may be, if you're really stuck, that you want to invite a friend, somebody in the church in to help you out. And so you can then begin to plan ahead when it comes to giving money away. Remember, we're not after the sums. It's not about how much you can plan ahead with in terms of generosity. This is a heart issue between you and God. This leads me nicely onto Stu's second point, and that was partner up. And so whether it's with a wife, a husband, a friend in the church, what I would encourage you to do is get good at talking about money. It's one of the subjects that all of us seem to struggle with quite a lot, and it's such a great thing, not just to talk about our money troubles, but to talk about how we can be generous with our money, to hold one another accountable and to encourage one another to be generous. And so again, this week, why not take the opportunity not just to sit down on your own and to plan ahead, but also maybe sit down and think, who is it that I could invite in to partner with me when it comes to joyful generosity? The last thing that Stu said was to pray big. And Stu's story and his testimony was just wonderful. I loved hearing it again, here in the studio as he was speaking out of numbers of things that he's prayed into. And it wasn't small prayers. It was for whole churches to be radically generous. It was for a whole generation at a youth festival to give away loads of money. Whatever it may be for you, why don't we begin to pray together that God would use us as a small community of believers to have massive impact when it comes to this great city. Even that prayer alone, as all of us engage with it, let's see what God would do amongst us as his people in these days. And so this week, the big idea is to joyfully be generous, joyful generosity. Get it up on your fridge, get it on your phone, put it somewhere. Think about those three different things practically in the way that you can pursue being joyful in generosity. We'll see you again at 10:30 next Sunday. God bless you and have a wonderful week.